your girl Esther, and I'm coming at you with another video. This is a live, and I wanted to talk about the human experience. Now, I have a patty with like a tortilla around it. I'm so excited. I do believe one of the reasons I came here to Earth is for the food. Fantastic. But I wanted to share a little bit about the human experience because it's kind of weird. And that's fun. That's fun. Now, as you know, I have been contacted by different galactic species. And it kind of takes you out of the human mind. It takes you out of the human experience. It makes you remember, there are so many other things going on that just aren't perceived in this dimension unless you open yourself up to receive them. And you don't have to. Some of them aren't meant for you to perceive in this lifetime. So in this video, I figured I'm going to talk a little bit about like the karmic chains, probably talk about relationships, life experiences, aliens, and just like life in general. It's weird. So good. Like, so good. When I started working here at this greenhouse, it was a bit interesting because my now supervisor and mentor, when they saw me, they were like, well, she's an okay worker. We'd like her to work with us. And originally they asked me a year ago, and I told them I was gonna be away for the whole summer. I was gone for about 5 months, and they held the position for me the whole time until I got back. They didn't hire anybody else. They just were like, okay, when you get back, tell us and we'll go through. And I thought that was really weird because I'm like not super skilled, but they appreciated my soul, my spirit. And then a couple months into working, my supervisor mentioned that it feels like family. It feels like a child, like I'm their work child. And I very much was like, yeah, in a past life, yeah, you guys definitely did teach me a lot. And in this life, you're teaching me a lot about plants, and I appreciate that. Didn't want to get into everything I remember about that past life because I don't think it's appropriate, and not everything in your brain you need to like share with everyone. Filters are good. Think about water. Having a filter for your water is very beneficial. Okay, so life is weird in that way. Now moving on to karmic chains. Your body right now, the DNA, that blueprint that is used to produce the cells in your body, determining the way it functions, how you look, your personality, certain traits, is passed down from generation to generation to generation. How many generations do we know before it's forgotten? Now, I was talking to my supervisor about this, and in terms of grass, this was like a very nice example of how, I'm going to call it smart grass. It's called bluegrass, but this grass, when you cut it down, it knows in order to survive and bring forth seeds so it can multiply, it has to produce its seed before you cut it. And if you cut it to a certain level, to a certain length, it knows that once it reaches that length, it's time to produce seed. And then the seeds that it produce are encoded to only produce when they become an inch tall, because that is what the parent plant determined was the only way to survive. Same thing applies to humans. We inherit certain traits because we needed them to survive. And even if they no longer benefit us, we still do them because it's what we learned. We didn't have to question it. It's something as inherent as your heart beating. You don't think about it. You just naturally feel like it is a part of how you live, how you survive, how you continue life. And so, of course, I'm here to encourage and take time right now to kind of question some of these. And when we talk in the spiritual community about breaking those karmic chains, this is what it's really about. Identifying the different layers of your family and the limits they've put on themselves in order to survive that no longer apply to you. And so this goes to the human experience and our mission here on Earth. I think I don't need to tell you that everything that's ever happened in your life happened for a reason. For you to have that experience. For the soul that you are to be formed. And I've been exploring this. Yesterday, I was doing a light language transmission. I was just sitting down, and it came through the frogs, the galactic ancestors of the frog beings were coming through, and they had a message for care. Take care, they said. It was very interesting. I felt that energy. I was very sensitive to it. And they came through, they shared the message, they shared the story. What's up, Takuma? Takutama. Yeah. And then, as I was getting ready to go, there were frogs behind me, and they were chilling, and they were very attracted to the sound, so they came to see what was going on. And I felt very thankful. And it made me realize, this is something I feel thankful for. Different galactic beings have contacted me, and it's something in the human experience that I feel thankful that I am sound in my mind and grounded to this point where I no longer fixate on the weird things that happen. They have told me that if you are in your genetic code, you could say, prone to spiraling and thinking a bit too deeply to the point where it's no longer productive and helpful for your soul mission, then they will wipe out those memories of any intergalactic interaction, because they want to make sure that you are able to do your mission here on Earth. And let's just talk about it. We come to Earth. I just learned about life insurance, and it just really blew my mind how money follows us from the day that we are born to the day that we die. And really, that's not the important thing here. The important thing is that you find what you love. And I highly believe that the more you do what you love, you will be provided for. That is it. And so I've been working on decoding and breaking through a lot of limiting beliefs and patterns within my karmic cycle that is saying otherwise. Most of this is double-mindedness. It's me thinking, oh, do I really love that? Is that really what I want to do? Am I sure it's going to be good? Am I going to be able to be provided for? Back to the survival. And the answer is yes. It's so weird. It's like so weird that no matter how much Source, God, Universe reminds me, like, you are good, you're provided, inherently as a part of the genetic code of survival as humans, is just like, whoa, but what other threats are out there that I need to be aware of and protect myself from? It's okay, my friend. You're gonna be okay. So this brings me to, what is it that you love? What comes up when you do it? I love to do a lot of things. And I think there was something in my heart saying, like, can't do everything. And I accept that I cannot do everything. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to do just simply what it is I'm here to do. I'm here to do what I love doing. I'm here to do what brings me joy, what fills me with life. And so I've been exploring that a lot. And today I'm sitting down and I'm really trying to decide, okay, now your ancestors actually hold a lot of information as to what your soul mission is. Because they were trained and have experiences that have been passed down to you that can assist you in ways that you might not have even thought of to apply. Maybe because of the shame that the family has put around it, maybe other things, maybe it's just like ignored. But these little elements can really be used to your benefit. But it takes that stepping back and just seeing it for what it is. So what are your gifts? I'll share a little bit about some of the gifts I've noticed that have been passed down to me from ancestors. My middle name comes from my great-grandmother, and she was extremely spiritual, very positive, and she was very knowledgeable about the unseen forces. And this was something that caused a lot of fear in the family in general, because it was not really very well understood from others. And I do believe a lot of the joy in my life, a lot of my natural inclination to supernatural things, healing and singing, do come from that line of wherever she inherited it from, right? Now, in my understanding, I'm not a scientist, but I believe in DNA the most dominant trait will take over. But you can switch them at any time consciously, by consciously knowing what you're looking to switch. Okay. On my my divine masculine side, they definitely had a way with words. They had a way with words, and they wrote a book. My grandfather, he never published the book, but he gave it to my father, and I do believe that the innate love for words and writing, the fact that I have published 5 books, 2 physical and 3 ebooks at this time, they come from what I have inherited. Of course, like, we also inherit not so fun things from our ancestors, not so beneficial things. It seems not so beneficial, but when you know that everything in your human experience happens for a reason, you can't help but find benefit to what you've been given. Now imagine a world where everybody is doing what they love. I love gardening. I love eating food. I love cooking. I love making art. I love creating community spaces to transmute different kinds of energy blockages so that we can have a more fuller experience. Those are the things I love. You may love dancing. You may love talking with people. You may love simply being with the animals, you know, taking care of animals. You may love sharing your knowledge on a particular subject or title. You may love collecting certain things. I don't know. So many things out there. Whatever it is you love, doing more of it, it literally shifts the earth's vibration to a place of love. When you do more of what you love, you are part of earth. You are embodying earth. When you do more of what you love, you raise that energy of love. You open up the capacity for more of it to be there. Now, there's polarization. There's polarization. All that love can also come in other forms. If it's not purified, right? Hatred, jealousy, scorn. Other forms of not love. And I just see those as opportunities for more love. Now, if you hate your job and you just go there because of money, because you feel trapped, what you love to do is drive cars. There's like this feeling of this limiting belief that you may have that keeps you there, because maybe there's like this cycle within your human experience that is saying, yo, don't do this. Do not do this. This is dangerous. Sure, you love driving because that's what you love, but stay at this job you hate because it's safe and you will survive. Driving, you could get hurt. Yo. Eventually, two things happen. That hate becomes so strong that it impacts, it just spreads. It just spreads. Or you say you've had enough and you start doing what you love. So none of your biz. We were really just I was going on a rant about doing more of what you love, how that can increase the love frequency of Earth versus the polarizing opposite. And noticing that there are karmic cycles and patterns that we have inherited that kind of ingrain this fear that can turn into a hateful form if left unchecked. And it really does only take a few minutes, like literally seconds, to consciously realize, oh, okay. Like 1 second, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I don't like that, but I just keep doing it. Why? What story are you telling yourself that maybe you just inherited that is causing you to feel this feeling and causing you to continue that narrative even though you want better for yourself? Okay. That's another thing about the human experience I notice in society. Now, I live in New York and it's pretty fast-paced. And if I do not take a break, at this point, it's kind of like survival. I need to take a break. I need to take a break so that I'm thinking clearly and I'm able to move forward. I'm able to serve others in this way. And that was a really big message that the beautiful galactic amphibians were talking about yesterday. You have to take care of yourself in order to properly fulfill your mission here on Earth. You can't just like run into it headstrong. You actually have to listen to your body and its needs and provide them. You have to listen and understand, okay, actually, I'm feeling frustration when I do this job or do this work. And my body is yearning and it finds joy and it feels so energized after I do this kind of work. You have to listen. You have to understand and just apply a little bit more. And I've been learning this lesson for myself that I feel like I gotta share it with you, my friend. Mm. 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 So, for me, this has looked like growing past my, past traumas and not trying to like ignore them, but acknowledging that they are impacting my decisions on a day-to-day basis. Even the smallest little, like, oh man, I really don't like pomegranate because I had a rotten one at one point in my life, or I half cut cherries in half because there were grubs in them at one point in my life. Like, those are so small, but they happen for everything. They determine the decisions that we have and, how our human experience goes and how that's impacted. Taking one moment before you make that decision to just acknowledge what factors, what cycles, what beliefs that may be limiting me are present. And you know what you do when you are aware of a limiting belief that is present? You simply forgive and let it go. And it transforms itself into this loving, compassionate acceptance for your human experience. You're doing your best. And this is something I have to constantly remind myself when I feel like what I'm doing is not good enough, or it could have been better, or, friends are even talking about this. I have to remind myself I'm doing my best. And that is okay. Have patience with the process. So yeah, you're doing your best. It's okay. The human experience is weird, There are a lot of things that we don't know. You don't have to stress so much about what are you going to do? Money. Don't stress at all about money. I'm learning this, and I still sometimes I fall into that habit because it's such an ingrained pattern for generations. But every time I just do what I know I'm here to do, at this point it's go outside, dig the holes that need to be dug, do the work. It's physical, sometimes it's hard, but it's what I'm here to do right now, and the money comes. When I think about the money in terms of business, it never works out. Because when you create a business, when you set up a shop, it's not so much to sell that you should do it. It's for serving. It's for serving others. It's for sharing your gifts. It's because you love what you're doing and you want to continue to do it more. My mentor told me this, and I think as we're closing off, I'll leave you guys with this food for thought. Let me check it now. Okay. He mentioned two games. You have the infinite game and you have the finite game. Now, the finite game, it has an ending. Take school for an example. It's a finite game. You know you're going to graduate. There are other people you are against. Take this in the corporate world as well. There's usually a judge or somebody who says when it's finally over. It's for a limited amount of time. There are other people, and the objective of the game is to finish it. That's it. Just finish it. Be done. Whether it's get as many followers as possible, reach a number of followers, or a number of amount of money, or in terms of graduating, get the degree, whatever it is, there's an objective that you're trying to get and finish. And there are generally other people that you're with. that are also going towards the same objective. And so that's a finite game. And then you have infinite games. And this is the really fun part. Infinite games, the objective is to do more of whatever you're doing. The objective is to continue. So for me, I like good vibes. So I created this channel so that I could create more good vibes. I could experience more good vibes. I could connect with people that have good vibes, more good vibes, and it is infinite game. There's no end. There's no like when I reach a certain number of followers or subscribers or online courses or something. No, it's just like I want to continue to explore it. And so by playing this infinite game, I give myself permission to be curious about what more is there to discover. So I encourage you to look at life in this lens. This is good. What kind of infinite game and finite game are you playing right now? Note to self, so much love. Feel honored. That infinite game could right now look like a job. It could look like a monetary goal. Or it could look like, you're actually an athlete and you're competing. And then what does a finite game look like for you? What do you want to do more of? Maybe you're a musician and you just want to create more music. So you just want to kind of create more music to give you the opportunity to create more music. Or you're an artist. Or you love, teaching people. Or you love cooking. Or you love eating. Whatever it is. If you truly love it, you'll know how to do it in a healthy way that gives you more life abundantly. Okay, answer me one thing before you go. Okay. So this month I'm actually working on patience, so I'm gonna answer none of this before I go. My phone low-key is on like 10% less, so please. Okay, so I've definitely been noticing creator bringing my lack of patience for what I perceive to be ignorance from others. Any tips? I feel like I need a different perspective. So this month, I asked God, what should I work on? And they said, practice patience. So let us both practice patience. It starts with compassion. I think practicing Ho'oponopono underneath your breath in your mind when you feel frustration helps. I definitely can catch myself when I feel really angry because, I get very, fist clenched. And I just take a breath. And I pray. I just ask God. I'm like, God, please give me peace. Please forgive me for feeling this. I ask God to forgive me for the things that I'm projecting onto this person. Please forgive me for feeling like this person isn't listening to me, that they right now are doing foolishness. Please forgive me for the way that I'm perceiving them. And so by just simply asking for forgiveness on the way that I'm perceiving that person, it changes my perspective on them, and it changes how I treat them, and therefore how they show up and how they are able to, communicate back to me. So none of your biz. I hope that helps. I really appreciate the question, and I love you and appreciate you for being here, fam. You are a real one. You are a real one for watching to this point. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. You ask yourself the question of what finite and infinite games are you playing right now? Write it down and let me know in the comments. I appreciate you. I love you.